What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Clippers fans, you really don't need to be, worried, of course, about anything in regards to the Lakers because I think based upon last year, you were the better team. And looking at the roster on paper, so far this year, you look like the better team. Now, of course, you got to play the Lakers 3 or 4 times during the season to really come up with analysis over that this upcoming season. This is a new year, of course. But, over the last several years, honestly, the Clippers have pretty much just dominate the Lakers if you want to be technical. So, with that being said, and, the Clippers beating the Lakers the last several times, really isn't much to say. Now, of course, I did want to piggyback on or talk about, about Patrick Beverley. And that's the reason why we're having this discussion, or I'm speaking on this today, because the reason why I say you have nothing to worry about, because Patrick Beverley's going to do a lot of talking, and it's going to get old after a while, even more so than what it has now. And because he hasn't said much so far, but what he has said was that there is a difference between repping the Lakers and the Clippers. There's a difference between being on both teams. And, Patrick Beverley speaks on the fact of getting more respect being on the Lakers rather than the Clippers. And you could read this on Yahoo Sports where you can get more details on it. I'm just going to chime in on my opinion on it because I just think that it's a waste of time for Patrick Beverley to go out his way to speak on something that really doesn't matter. See, the fact of the matter is, Clippers fans, you're going to despise Patrick Beverley now. You're going to hate his guts. You're going to hope he never comes back to the Clippers. You're going to hope that he just, has a bad season, don't play well for the Lakers. Hope he get traded again. You're probably going to hope those things because he's going to be more than an irritant to the Clippers just because he played for this organization and he played with y'all. He played with the team. He's been on the roster and he feel like he knows everything about the Clippers. I even heard a comment about him this offseason saying that he could lock Kawhi Leonard up. And, honestly, Patrick Beverley is a damn liar. And let's just keep it real. That's just what he is. He does a lot of talking and it doesn't mean anything. And he's lying about half the stuff he says because he can't lock up and guard no Kawhi Leonard, not unless he does some cheap shot type crap that he does against everybody else. You can guard a lot of players like that if you do cheap shots on them and those type things. But everybody knows, along with Kawhi Leonard, the guy barely plays defense. He plays at times. He cheats some other times by doing some of his other antics. And he's just a talker. And that's exactly what he's doing now. He's doing a lot of talking. And, any game the Clippers lose to the Lakers this season, if they lose any against the Lakers, he's definitely going to chime in and talk a little bit more and have a lot to say, against the Clippers because he's riding with the Lakers now. And I understand that, you got to ride with the team that you're with. You got to, be an official teammate because you're there. I definitely respect that. But at the same time, talking and doing things like that, that's optional. You don't have to do that. The Lakers were no damn good last year and the Clippers were a better team without their superstars. So, Patrick Beverley needs to be humble and understand the team that he's on. The team that he's on, he's not going to make them, but so much better himself. And if they go into the playoffs with the team they currently have constructed, they might make the playoffs, but they probably will lose the first round, whoever they play, because honestly, all the teams that are going to make the playoffs in the West are better than them. The Clippers, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, possibly the Timberwolves, the New Orleans Pelicans, the Denver Nuggets. Shall I go on? The Phoenix Suns, are better than them. This is what I'm saying. At least record-wise, all these teams were better than the Lakers. And the Lakers are I would say they got 1 or 2 good seasons left in LeBron to get the best out of him. Anthony Davis is like 1 injury away for them probably trading him. And Russell Westbrook is definitely out the door. They just haven't found a place for him to go yet. So, with all that being said, Patrick Beverley, saying that he gets more respect being on the Lakers. Yeah, I can see, what he's saying in regards to the Lakers have won. They definitely, won more championships than the Clippers. But regardless of that, the respect that you're getting is not because you're a great player, because you're not. You're barely even a good player. I mean, the Clippers didn't even want to give you the money that you asked for from them because they didn't think you were worth that much. And nobody else does either. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't get where Patrick Beverley, is going to do all this talking and all this other crap. I mean, I understand that's who he is and that's what he's going to do, but I don't understand why to do so or to do that, because I mean, this is your former team you played with. Show respect that you was there, that you were a part of the organization, that you show the respect that you actually, cared or liked the guys that was on the team, or at least you pretended to. I mean, hell, you came to a Clippers game, last year, when the Timberwolves weren't playing, you came to a Clippers game and sat down as a fan front row with a Clippers jersey on, repping this team and things like that. So I really hope Patrick Beverley doesn't go into this season doing all this talking and all this other stuff against the Clippers, because you were just representing them like less than a year ago, or almost a year ago now. And, it honestly, they didn't win a championship while you were there. And I don't think he's going to win a championship with the Lakers unless they pull off some miracle to get somebody like Kyrie or Kevin Durant or somebody like that, which is probably not going to happen. And, unless they get some other firehouse, pieces in there, big name pieces in there, I don't foresee them winning a championship this year, but anything is possible. I'm not going to rule anything out. Everybody has a chance to win, of course. Everybody starts at the same record, 0-0. So, when the season starts, everybody has an opportunity from the beginning of the season, but we'll see between middle and end of the season whether that holds up or not, or serves true for the Lakers. They were 10-15 games under 500 last year. And honestly, with Patrick Beverley, a guy who really can't score that well, a guy who doesn't play defense that good, a guy who, isn't really known for any type of specialty besides talking trash and getting under people's skin, I don't really foresee them going too much further with his so-called capabilities, if you as a fan think he has any. So, I mean, I respect Patrick Beverley for who he is and, who he was, to the Clippers and everything. But let's not make it seem like he was a star player or something like that for them. I mean, he was just a decent role player who, had some, good games, with the Clippers, good times with the Clippers. And, now he is, a part of the Lakers, and, good for him being on the Lakers. But I don't feel like he should be throwing any jabs or anything like that at the Clippers, because in the end, the Clippers really might have the last laugh, Patrick Beverley. The Clippers really actually might possibly win the championship this upcoming season. And if they do, who's going to look like the ass then? Is it going to be them, or is it going to be you? You're doing all this talking so far about how much respect you get in LA. Damn the respect. Are you going to win a championship? Nobody, people want respect. I'll give you that. People want respect. That's always a good thing. But in basketball, in sports terms, we want championships. And if you're not helping delivering championships, which you didn't do in Minnesota, which you didn't do in Houston, and which you didn't do on the Clippers, the talking really is nothing. The talking is a waste of time. And this is the reason why I wanted to make this video, because I feel like a lot of Clipper fans will agree with me that Patrick Beverley is going to do a lot of talking, but it's going to be a lot of waste of time talking, because he's not a star player who could really actually make them better. He's not, the guy on a team. He's just a guy on a team. And, honestly, the Clippers, to be quite honest, if Kawhi and PG were healthy last year, they might have actually had a chance to win the championship without Patrick Beverley being on there. I've made some videos where I spoke on Pat Bev, how valuable he is to the Clippers, and he was valuable to the Clippers when he was on there, because the role that he had and how he played for them and with them, was a key part of their success, only because he was on the team prior to everybody on there now. He was on the team before Kawhi, PG, and John Wall, and, Reggie Jackson and all them players. He was on the team before they were. So, I mean, his value definitely speaks, his value speaks, volume, for that team specifically, but he's not there no more. So we can't count that anymore. We can't look at that anymore, and we can't give him that credit anymore. So I hope that he kills the talking. Honestly, I really hope he does, because it's really not worth it in the end. You know, all the talking and all the, everything that, Patrick Beverley does in regards to trying to get under people's skin and everything, because it doesn't win championships at the end of the day. It just makes people irritable. And like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the fact that the Clippers know how Patrick Beverley is, they're probably not even letting it get to him or get under their skin because they know how he is. But at the same time, best believe the Clippers definitely want to prove, go have something to prove this season. Want to go out there and beat the Lakers even more now that Patrick Beverley's on there and prove a point. So we'll see what happens, in the regular season. But the main thing is we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Like I said, if the Clippers find a way to win the championship, they shut up all haters, all doubters, all naysayers, anybody that's not on their team. And we'll see if it pans out that way. And like I said, we'll see how the Lakers do this offseason. This season as well. And we'll analyze it too. And we'll just take it from there. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.